Happy Saturday morning to you. Here's the news and results from Friday. Starting in the American League Central, the Twins amassed 14 hits in the game as they beat the Tribe in Cleveland 3-2. Also from Cleveland, relief pitcher number 34 is listed as day-to-day, but is not expected to see any time on the DL. He's said to be dealing with a sprained elbow ligament. The Kansas City Royals took down the Tigers in Detroit 4-0. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim took down the Chi Sox in front of a home crowd 5-2. The Rays total 11 hits as they took down the Yankees in the Bronx 4-3. The O's pitched well, allowing 3 hits as they grabbed the win against the visiting Athletics 1-0. The Seattle Mariners got 11 overall hits as they beat the visiting Red Sox 9-4. The win was their 5th straight as a team. The Texas Rangers totaled 11 hits as a team as they got the home victory against the Astros 5-2. In more news from Houston, Brad Peacock reached the 500 career strikeouts milestone. The Philadelphia Phillies combined for 10 hits as a team as they beat the Braves in Atlanta 4-0. The Miami Marlins bested the visiting Nats 5-2. The Toronto Blue Jays bested the Cubbies at Wrigley Field 1-0. Chris Nelson had a day to remember, amassing an impressive 7 RBIs at the plate, leading the Brewers to victory over the Pirates 9-2. In other Pirates news, Mike Moustakas reached a very nice milestone in his career yesterday by collecting his 1,000th Major League hit. Alex Etherton got the win, throwing 8 shutout innings, helping lead the Cards past Cincinnati 1-0. Lucas Giolito collected win number 3 this year, leading the Diamondbacks past the Mets 5-4. In other Diamondbacks news, Shelby Miller racked up his 1,000th career strikeout in yesterday's action. Julio Urias struck out 12 on the way to the win as the Dodgers defeated the rival Giants 3-1. The Colorado Rockies total 11 hits as they made short work of the Padres 13-5. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll be back here tomorrow and all season long. The beginning of the work week, and welcome to Inside the Show. In the AL Central, the Minnesota Twins earned the 3-game series sweep as they beat the Tribe in Cleveland 10-5. They now have 5 straight wins. TGIF, and welcome to Inside the Show. Starting in the American League Central, the Twins earned the 4-game series sweep as they grabbed the win against the visiting Royals, 4-3. It was their 5th straight victory. Right now, the Twins are in first place in the AL Central, and the Royals sit in 3rd place in the American League Central. The Detroit Tigers finished off the 4-game sweep as they dismantled the White Sox 12-2. At the moment, the White Sox sit in last place in the American League Central Division, and the Tigers are in 2nd place in the AL Central. The Rangers allowed only 5 hits as they beat the Tribe in Cleveland 2-1. Heading into today, the Indians are in 4th place in the AL Central, while the Rangers are in 1st place in the AL West. Alex Cobb got win number 1 on the year, helping lead the Rays to a win over the Yankees 4-3. As of today, the Rays sit in last place in the American League East Division, and the Yankees are leading the AL East. The Metropolitans completed a short 2-game sweep as they beat the O's in Baltimore 5-4. Also in Mets news, starting pitcher Matt Harvey is currently listed as day-to-day. He's dealing with a bruised hand. Right now, the Orioles are in 2nd place in the AL East, and the Mets are in 3rd place in the NL East. The Halos allowed 5 hits in the game as they defeated the A's in Oakland 4-1. At the moment, the A's sit in last place in the American League West Division, and the Angels sit in 3rd place in the American League West Division. The Houston Astros completed a 3-game series sweep as they took down the visiting Mariners 8-2. Looking at the standings, the Astros are atop the American League West, while the Mariners sit in 4th place in the American League West. The Nats got 12 hits in this one as they pulverized the Braves 8-1. It was their 7th straight victory. Heading into today, the Nationals are in 1st place in the NL East, while the Braves are in last place in the NL East. The Phillies grabbed 13 hits in the game as they got the best of the Dodgers at home 2-1. In other Phillies news, relief pitcher Michael Marriott will not be in the lineup for the next couple of days. He's dealing with a strained finger. As of today, the Phillies are in 2nd place in the NL East, and the Dodgers sit in 1st place in the National League West Division. The St. Louis Cardinals got 11 overall hits as they got past the Reds in Cincinnati 8-5. At the moment, the Reds sit in last place in the National League Central Division, and the Cardinals sit in 1st place in the National League Central Division. The Brewers combined to allow only 4 hits as they beat the visiting Marlins 8-2. Right now, the Brewers sit in 3rd place in the National League Central Division, and the Marlins sit in 4th place in the National League East Division. Chad Kuhl earned the 3rd W of his season as the Pirates got a win over the Cubs 5-2. Looking at the standings, the Pirates sit in 2nd place in the National League Central, and the Cubs are in 3rd place in the NL Central. Brad Hand collected his first W this season as the Padres bested the Diamondbacks 2-1. Heading into today, the Diamondbacks are in 3rd place in the NL West, while the Padres sit in last place in the National League West Division. And that's the show. Thanks for listening in. I'll be back tomorrow with more news and updates from around the majors.
We'd like to welcome those of you just tuning in on the show. You're joining us at a great time. The Minnesota Twins are trying to hold their one-run lead here in the ninth, but that's very much hanging in the balance with the tying run in scoring position. And that's up in the zone a bit, but a called strike, 0-2.
He's in a tough spot right now, 0-2. This is one of those at-bats. You look back and you go, I got to get the man over. But now 0-2, you just got to try to make contact now.
You froze him on the fastball there. Kenny Vargas is dealt with for the first out in the bottom of the inning.
No doubt. Some saves come easier than others, and I know this all too well. They're really making wrapping this thing up a difficult task.
Hit on the ground out to short. Turner gloves it. Throw to first is in time, and the Rangers are now down to their final out of the game.
Well executed two-seamer on the outside corner that time, and that's what you'll get a lot of with that pitch. He rolled right over it.
Delino DeShields is in with two away as he takes a ball 1-0. Trying to hold the lead. Here's the delivery. Went about halfway there, but it's a called strike regardless. 3 runs already home here. And there's ball 2 now. And there's a called strike 2 as now they're down to their final strike this afternoon. And then that's a pretty good example of why he's such a... Struck him out, so he'll strand the possible tying run at second, and a great job of working out of trouble as this ball game is over.
Wow, what a week for these guys. Talk about firing on all cylinders. Winners of an amazing 7 games in a row. They say to never question the streak, and these guys aren't. They're just enjoying this ride.
A 1-run game, 6-5 the final today. Number 16 earns his 5th winner of the year. Carl Edwards Jr. wraps it up for the save, his 3rd of the campaign. So that just about does it for Harold Reynolds, Dan Plesac, and our crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way on over to theshownation.com.
The final line score for this afternoon's ball.
It's Monday morning, and welcome to Inside the Show. Starting in the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins finished off a 3-game sweep as they grabbed the win over the Rangers in Arlington, 6-4. They are on a roll with 8 straight victories. Right now, the Rangers sit in third place in the American League West Division, while the Twins sit in first place in the American League Central Division. The Yankees got together to allow 4 hits as they defeated the visiting Tigers 10. TGIF, and welcome to Inside the Show. Starting in the American League Central, the Kansas City Royals completed the long 4-game sweep as they were winners over the visiting Rangers 4-1. It was their 7th straight victory. Heading into today, the Royals are in second place in the AL Central, while the Rangers are in third place in the AL West. The Indians knocked out 12 hits as a team as they bested the Mariners in Safeco Field 8-3. Looking at the standings, the Mariners are leading the AL West, and the Indians The trade deadline looms large. Welcome to Inside the Show. In the AL Central, the White Sox grabbed 13 hits in the game as they stole a victory in extra innings over the Twins, 5-4. The Detroit Tigers had 12 hits as a team as they stomped the Brewers, 8-1. The Seattle Mariners cracked 16 hits on the day as they beat the Royals in Kauffman Stadium, 10-6. Will Smith collected his first W this season as San Francisco took care of the Indians, 3-1. The Boston Red Sox combined to give up just 5 hits as they were winners over the visiting Rangers, 6-4. The Blue Jays combined to allow only 4 hits as they sank the visiting Buccos, 6-1. Also from Toronto, center fielder Dalton Pompey will not be in the lineup for the next couple of days. He's dealing with a bruised leg. The Bronx Bombers total 11 hits as they beat the O's in Baltimore, 11-1. The Metropolitans totaled 11 hits as a team as they pulled off the win against the Angels in Orange County, 5-4. Howie Kendrick grabbed 3 runs driven in as the Rays took down the Astros, 4-2. He extended his hitting streak to a modest 6 straight games. The Marlins allowed only 5 hits as they dismantled the A's, 10-1. The Redbirds allowed 5 hits in the game as they got the best of the Phillies in Citizens Bank Park, 4-0. The Reds snapped their 5-game losing streak as they bested the visiting Padres, 5-0. The Braves got 12 hits in this one as they got a road win against Arizona, 5-4. The Colorado Rockies combined to give up just 5 hits as they nabbed the win against the visiting Cubs, 5-1. In other news out of Colorado, second baseman DJ LeMahieu will be out of action for a few days according to team reports. He's dealing with tightness in his forearm. The Dodgers allowed only 5 hits as they bested the visiting Nats, 6-2. That's the show for today. Tune in tomorrow for all the latest news and rumors as the trade deadline approaches. Welcome to Inside the Show. It's the wild day that is the trade deadline. Starting in the American League Central, the Tigers finished off a 2-game sweep as they got the best of the Brewers at home, 10-4. In other Brewers news, first baseman number 51 is listed as day-to-day, but is not expected to see any time on the DL. He is dealing with a strained calf muscle. At the moment, the Tigers are in third place in the AL Central, while the Brewers are in third place in the NL Central. The Royals starting pitcher, number 58, earned win number 7 this season as Kansas City disposed of the Mariners 2-1. Right now, the Royals sit in 4th place in the American League Central Division, while the Mariners sit in 2nd place in the American League West. The Texas Rangers hit 3 long balls as they took down the Red Sox on the road 11-10. Heading into today, the Red Sox are leading the American League East, and the Rangers sit in 3rd place in the American League West Division. The Toronto Blue Jays amassed 14 hits in the game as they took down the visiting Orioles 7-3. In other Blue Jays news, starting pitcher Aaron Sanchez is currently listed as day-to-day. He's dealing with bruised ribs. Looking at the standings, the Blue Jays sit in 3rd place in the American League East Division, and the Orioles sit in 4th place in the American League East Division. The Pittsburgh Pirates launched 3 home runs as they took care of the Mets at Citi Field 5-4. As of today, the Mets sit in 2nd place in the National League East Division, while the Pirates are in 1st place in the NL Central. Jared Eichhoff got the win number 7 thus far, helping lead the Phillies to a victory over the Cardinals 4-2. Right now, the Phillies sit in 3rd place in the National League East Division, and the Cardinals sit in 2nd place in the National League Central. The Los Angeles Dodgers pitched well, allowing 3 hits as they got past the Reds in Cincinnati 3-0. At the moment, the Reds sit in last place in the National League Central Division, and the Dodgers sit in 1st place in the National League West Division. The Atlanta Braves cracked 16 hits on the day as they were winners in extras against the Diamondbacks 4-3. Looking at the standings, the Diamondbacks are in 3rd place in the NL West, while the Braves are in 4th place in the NL East. And that's the show. The trade deadline is only hours away, so don't forget to check in tomorrow for a full recap of the day's events. The final postseason teams are jockeying for position. Welcome to Inside the Show. Starting in the American League Central, the Twins completed a 3-game series sweep as they beat the Tribe in Cleveland 6-3. The win was their 6th in a row. In other Twins news, Jose Barrios punched out his 200th batter of the season in yesterday's action. Heading into today, the Indians sit in 3rd place in the American League Central, 18 games out of first. And the Twins have clinched the AL Central Division and a postseason berth. They will be playing in October. The Chi Sox went deep 4 times as they got the best of the Dodgers at home, 7-5. In more news from the boys in blue, Justin Turner continued his very productive season yesterday as he collected his 100th RBI of the year. As of today, the White Sox are in last place in the AL Central. They're over 20 games out of first, while the Dodgers are atop the NL West. They are more than 10 games ahead of second place. The Detroit Tigers earned the 3-game series sweep as they beat the Royals in Kauffman Stadium 7-2. At the moment, hi there, everyone. Welcome to this special postseason edition of Inside the Show. Let's take a look at the latest from around Major League Baseball. Dodgers to victory over Washington, 6-3. Hello, baseball fans. Thanks for joining us on this October morning. Here's what's going on around the league as the postseason rolls on. In Game 5 of the World Series, Clayton Kershaw got the victory on the mound, throwing 8 strong innings and allowing only 1 earned run as the Dodgers were victorious over the Astros, clinching the World Series championship. It has been a storybook season for them, and they will look to repeat as champions next year.